Can I ask you a tough question? Do you ever question the goodness of God? Do you ever wonder when life falls apart if God is really in control, if he's really so full of love and mercy, if he really cares about you? Maybe if you've miscarried, you've asked that question. Maybe if you've read the headlines of what's happening in our world, not just year after year, but day after day, you've wondered that question. Maybe when life has just kicked you a 16th time when you're down, you've wondered that question, is it possible that God's not as good as some Christians say? I can't help but think of a story I heard a few years ago about a little girl who died of cancer. The pastor came to visit her family after her death, and he saw in the entryway this engraved stone built into the floor. And the stone was engraved with these words that just said, "The moon is round." And the pastor asked about this mysterious stone in their entryway. And the parents explained that when their daughter died, they went up to her room to look at her things, and they found a journal that she kept of all the Bible passages that inspired her and gave her hope as she was battling cancer. And right in the middle of that journal was a note card that just said, "The moon is round," with no passage. And the parents couldn't figure it out for the longest time, but then it dawned on them that as their daughter was going through this suffering and pain, she would look out at her window and she would see the moon. And some days the moon was big and bright and round and beautiful. The moon was as it actually was, but other days she didn't see the moon at all. Maybe just a little sliver or half of a moon, but she knew, even on those dark days, that the moon is still bright and round. And the parents said, "You see, Pastor, that's what our daughter believed about God. That there are days when life is dark and cloudy. There are days when we can't see the goodness and love of God in the sky, but if we fix our eyes on Jesus, on the cross, we know that God is good. If God only had one son and he gave that son up for you when you were at your worst, how can God not be good?" And so James says these words, "Don't be deceived, my dear brothers and sisters. Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights, who does not change like shifting shadows." We have a Father in heaven, and he doesn't change. The same goodness that led him to give his son is the same good God that's walking with you. So don't give up hope, don't panic, and never question the goodness of God. Fix your eyes on Jesus. That's how faith works. Was today's message a blessing to you in your walk with God? We'd love for you to comment and to share with your family and friends the great things that God is doing in your heart through these messages.